From following the previous movie's footsteps to the crazy storyline, here's why the new Shazam movie will have Billy Batson as the main character.
But you saw it! You saw it, right? Look, Freddy, I swear, it's me, okay? Look, I know we're not really close friends or anything, but you're the only person that I know that knows anything about this Cape Crusader stuff.
It's Batman.
What?
Forget it.
After the DC original Shazam was a success, of course there was going to be another film. The sequel of the beloved 2019 hit is finally on the way. Shazam! Fury of the Gods is one of DC's new projects, alongside other highly anticipated films. Though fans have been excited to see Zachary Levi and Asher Angel return as their beloved superhero, this new film will actually revolve more around the story of his non-superhero counterpart, Billy Batson, played by the same actors in the original film. But why will it be based on Batson and his human experience, more than Shazam and his superhero experiences? Well, there are a lot of reasons. Maybe they're trying to keep it more family-centric like its previous installment.
Looking like this?
Well, yeah. I mean, usually we'd have a lair to go back to, but that's long term. Right now we have a bunk bed.
Shazam was released in 2019, hot on the heels of Justice League. The latter got mixed reviews, but it fell into the exact same trap as the majority of DCEU films do. It was just too dark and gloomy, both visually and in terms of the story. Shazam, on the other hand, managed to do a complete 180. It was brighter, more comical, and focused on more relatable themes like families. The movie is still regarded as one of the greatest DC films of recent times and covered many themes. For instance, look at the plot. Well, the plot revolved around Billy Batson, a former child from Philadelphia. In the film, Batson has a habit of fleeing numerous homes that he's placed in. That is, until he's placed in Victor and Rosa Vasquez, along with their 5 other foster children.
This is our security scanner, like in an airport. It's totally safe.
I know what it is. She always did this.
Silence makes me uncomfortable.
She's almost never uncomfortable.
While staying with the new foster family, an ancient wizard chooses Billy as a champion and bestows upon the young boy the Shazam powers. Slowly, as he learns how to deal with them and masters them, Batson began to realize that he could be a part of a family as a result of his abilities. He then gives some of his powers to his siblings at the end of the film, and they become the Shazam family. Overall, it's a lighthearted film, but it emphasizes its family-centric themes, which were obviously very well received by audiences. So after leaving off at this, what will the Shazam sequel be about?
Do you want an autograph or something?
Give me your power. Or die.
Oh, snap. You're like a bad guy, right? Okay. Look, before this gets really stupid for you.
Well, if you're a fan of the comics, you might have heard of the Daughter of Atlas. If you haven't, don't worry, I've got you. So, the lore goes that the Daughters of Atlas think that their father was unfairly stripped of his powers. But what does that have to do with Billy Batson? Well, they believe that the ancient wizard, the original Shazam, stole these powers from their father, Atlas. So in the new film, the fury of these demigods will be released on Billy Batson, who they believe has the stolen powers of their father. This not only puts him at risk, but his entire family too, as he's distributed his power among them. And as we know how all superhero films go, these outworldly demigoddesses will bring the threat of destroying the whole universe with them. Duh.
Pride, greed, sloth, lust, who I thought was gonna be way hotter, if I'm being honest. But that's only 6. Where's lucky number 7? Where's little man? Where's envy?
So the Shazam family will have a lot to figure out, which sort of leads to a question: what's the Shazam family been up to this whole time, and where will they be now? Shazam! Fury of the Gods takes place a few years after the events of the first film. The Shazam family destroyed Thaddeus Savannah and the 7 deadly sins as shown in the trailers. When the sequel picks up a number of years later, however, everything isn't going so well. Shazam can be seen talking to a counselor in the first trailer, giving some insight on what the siblings will be up to. He says that everyone's kind of doing their own thing, and that he's the only one trying to keep it all together. With Mary preparing for college, Freddy hoping to pick up girls at school, and the rest of the siblings preoccupied with their own concerns, it's clear that Billy will struggle. As the first film demonstrated, he felt a sense of belonging since his newly found family worked together. That's all falling apart now, and he'll be left alone once more.
Guys?
Unfortunately, villains know exactly when to strike, and the Daughters of Atlas will do just that. They'll strike whenever the Shazam family is separated and when Billy is at his most vulnerable. This will make things way more difficult. However, the solution is straightforward. Billy must first try to fix his human life before Shazam can defeat the Daughters of Atlas. Maybe that means reuniting the Shazam family for good, or maybe it means Billy finding his own identity and accepting himself besides sharing forces with his family. In any case, Billy will have a lot to deal with in the new Shazam installment. Speaking of the new Shazam movie, who's going to be in it?
Feeling like you're all alone in the world?
Stan.
Feeling like there's that one thing, and if you could just find it, then you'd finally be good enough.
Stan. The champion's name.
Returning for their lead role/roles in the film are Zachary Levi and Asher Angel as Billy Batson/Shazam. Jimon Hunsu will star as the ancient wizard who gave Billy the powers and is also the original Shazam. Grace Caroline Curry will star as both Mary Bromfield as well as her superhero counterpart. As the oldest of Billy's brother and sister, she was seen in Shazam in 2019 trying to decide on a college, so it stands to reason that her superhero self would be about the same age. It star Jack Dylan Grazer will reprise his role as Freddie Freeman, Billy's best friend. Meanwhile, Adam Brody's also back as Freeman's older self, as well as superhero Freddy. Riverdale's Ross Butler will be coming back as older Eugene Choi, as well as superhero Eugene. His younger years will be played by the same actor who played it in 2019, Ian Chen. Darla Dudley will be played by both Faith Herman and Megan Good. I can't possibly forget the adorable Jovan Armand, who returns to play Pedro Pina. Meanwhile, Pina's older, stronger, and hotter counterpart will be played by DJ Catrona. Cooper Andrews and Marta Milans will also be returning for their roles as the parents of the foster home, Victor and Rosa Vasquez. Seeing these characters return is great, but it wasn't necessarily what got fans as excited as they are about it. What got fans super excited was seeing the new additions to the cast. So they got the hero category covered, but what about the villains? You can't have a good superhero movie if the villains aren't great, but fret not. Shazam's new installation called upon 3 leading ladies of Hollywood to cast as the movie's main antagonists. The Daughters of Atlas, who, like mentioned before, will be wreaking havoc on Earth trying to take their father's supposed powers back. Oscar-winning beauty Dame Helen Mirren will star as Hespera, one of the 3 daughters. Another one of the daughters, Calypso, will be played by none other than Charlie's Angel, Lucy Liu. And Anthea, the last of Atlas's daughters, will be played by Rachel Zegler. Marvel has been getting big names for its films for a long time now, and if DC wanted to compete, this was essential to do so. So just one question remains then: when is the movie finally going to be released? The movie will be hitting theaters on 17th March 2023. In fact, this will be the 3rd superhero movie that will be released in China this year. Even though it's soon, I know it feels long. Luckily for us, there's 2 Shazam trailers that have been released, one covering Billy's personal life and one uncovering the villains. The movie looks great, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. That was all for the new Shazam movie.